Hi, this is Alan.
Hi, this is Dionysus.
Hi, this is Kyle.
And this is Breaker, and you're listening to the Magic Hour podcast. Hey guys, how's it going?
It's doing awesome, to be honest. How's everyone else doing?
Yeah, it's pretty euphoric right now. If you're just listening to this, it's February 15th, and Magic has broken $5. It's climbing up to what is it, at 558 now? 560?
Yep, 558.
Wow.
It can't be stopped.
So we're just smashing all-time highs by the minute. It's
Yeah.
absolutely insane right now. My mind's being blown.
Crypto Twitter is going nuts as expected. So, wow. If you've been with us on this ride for this long, congrats. If you're just getting started, I'm sure you're in for a wild ride. Don't be intimidated. It's gonna get even better. All right, guys. Let's hit a little news and notes round robin. Dion, you want to get us started?
Yeah, I mean, my news is that we are breaking the all-time high. $5 was a massive psychological resistance for Magic, and now that we're in price discovery, I think that we could experience 24 to 48 hours of up only and some extreme euphoria. So get excited, but this ride also will probably be quite volatile and pretty bumpy.
Awesome. Kyle, what about you?
This week, I talked to the founder of Magus, this educational institute for treasure. I think his vision is pretty cool. I support what he's doing, and considering that we are a podcast on Magic, hopefully we get integrated with what he's doing as well.
What is that called? Magus?
Yeah, Magus, Magus.
Magus. Okay. We'll put the link. We'll put the link in the Twitter for that in the show notes for you listeners out there. Sounds very interesting. Alan, what about you? What's your news this week?
Well, I mean, Dion already touched upon it, but yeah, Magic's soaring through the roofs right now and crazy buy action on that. And for those of you who don't know, this week, or I'd say last week, we also had OKX, or I guess you could say OX, also list Magic on their exchange as well, which is a big thing, because I honestly think that's one of the reasons why we have been seeing a lot of these pumps lately as well. And Small Brains, just 2 days ago, kind of gave us a little bit of a teaser as well on the breeding mechanism. And we now know that males can breed once a day, and females can breed once a week. But I do think I saw a thread later on about that as well, about John saying that he will try to shorten the process for the females as well. So there's definitely going to be a lot more news coming up on that.
Cool. I hadn't heard about that. And we'll use this opportunity to make a brief shout out for Small Love. If you weren't able to get your Valentine's Day love, Small Love might be your option. My news and notes for this week is 2 projects that I personally am invested in, EtherOrcs and Anonymice, were both announced as partners for BattleFly. And if you're holding an EtherOrc NFT or Anonymice NFT, I believe you'll be getting whitelisted for BattleFly and receiving NFTs related to those projects when BattleFly launches, which I think is pretty awesome. And I believe it's an NFT for each orc and mouse that you hold. So that's going to be quite a bit for some people. I'm pretty excited about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty good round robin, guys. All right, so for this week, the main topic, not too much going on in the treasure sphere in terms of stuff we already know. There haven't been really too many big announcements. So we're going to kind of do a little variety hour here. We're going to start with Bridgeworld, talk about some of the new developments in playing the game there, our experiences. We'll touch on small pets. And finally, we'll talk about some Seed of Life news that we heard. And we'll get to that at the end. But first, Bridgeworld. Guys, what an exciting last couple weeks. At the beginning of February, I remember summoning my first legions, and we had to wait 7 days. And I kind of forgot about it. And then when the 7 days were up, I revealed my legions, and I got an auxiliary uncommon. I was super excited about it. I listed it on the market. I sold it for 2,400 magic already, which will help me get some new summons coming up. and I was really excited. What about you guys? Did you all summon?
Yeah, no, I summoned. Currently in my second round of summoning. Similarly, I sold my first auxiliary uncommon, but you got a way better price than I did, and I feel not great about that. I think I sold for maybe 16 or 1800.
Wow.
So yeah. Obviously you got the better end of that deal. And in between my summoning time, I used my Legion Genesis and my summon before I sold to quest because I needed some extra liquidity. I was pretty magic illiquid and thought that I could get a few quests under my belt. Unfortunately, Treasure RNG was not so kind to me.
Right on. Alan, what about you?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, as you said, it's been crazy for everyone recently, just with the Bridgeworld game. I mean, it's kind of surprising to me, to be honest, because we haven't been hearing too much news. Just crazy stuff going on. I mean, yes, crafting has come out now, and everyone's just undergoing playing the game and stuff like that. So everyone's just kind of focused in it. But it's been crazy. Like I've summoned as well. Sold my auxiliary. I was actually hoping. I actually wanted to buy another one as well, so I scooped one up yesterday. Honestly, just kind of shifting my stuff around, shifting my magic around, and just playing with everything right now. Just trying to see what's still the best plan for me and what I could possibly do to take my highest advantage within Bridgeworld right now. Because I feel like the suspense is kind of starting to pick up a little bit for small brains as well. I mean, we saw a little bit of a pump today around, I think, sometime around 4 o'clock, and we ended up hitting around 3,400. So I feel like the tension's starting to build up for smolverse as well. So I'm kind of trying to divert my focus a little bit to that now as well, and just trying to honestly move around my magic and just see what the best opportunity lies for me as of right now. But it's still been going great for Bridgeworld as well. No complaints. I've been questing. Haven't been crafting too much just yet, but just trying to get as many treasures as I can and trying to accumulate just as much magic as possible as of right now. That's honestly my game plan.
Cool. Kyle, what about you?
Personally, I've been doing the same. I've summoned and sold it instantly. But actually, moving forward, I think I'm going to switch it up. I saw a Twitter thread that I can't remember who is it by, where he did like this revenue prediction, forecasting for treasure pathways, right? And it seems like summoning an auxiliary and using that to summon, then selling it is probably the most profitable. So that's what I'm going to be doing from now on. I haven't actually tried questing because I only have one legion, so I can't quest. But from what I'm seeing on my timeline, some people are actually kind of upset that the chances of getting a treasure is pretty low. Like some of them have quested like 20 times in a row and haven't gotten a single like T5. I'm not sure what I'll do with that information. I think it's good for higher rarity treasures because obviously it's harder to get them. But for those T5s and T4s that are supposed to give you that gameplay, that feedback loop, right? The dopamine that comes in your brain when you get something from questing. I think they could increase the chances of getting that, but those are just my thoughts. Yeah.
Well, I'll say, I spoke about my summoning experience, but I've also been questing while with one of my legions that is unable to summon yet. Right, it's got the summon cooldown for 7 days, and this guy has been questing nonstop. Plus, the legion that I used to summon another legion has also been questing nonstop, and I've actually gotten, I think, 3 treasures so far in my questing. I got a diamond, gold coin, and a halfpenny, I believe, as well as essences of starlight and prism shards, which I think you get 3 each when you quest. At least, I guess, the easy quest. I'm just trying to get to level 2 right now because that's where I want to be.
When you quest, are you questing 3 times a day? Are you regimenting your 8 hours every day around
I'm trying to max my questing as much as I can. Yes, I've started setting alarms now.
Good.
So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I tried crafting, but then I don't have all the requisite treasures to craft yet. So I've just kind of avoided that until I get more treasures. But I really do enjoy the fact that questing is free for the most part, and so you can just do that unlimited. Um, and that's really like been the most interaction that I've done with Bridgeworld. But as it relates to the summoning piece, I have my Legion Genesis is, I think, 3 days out from its second summon, and I'm about to summon another with the Auxiliary Legion that I summoned. And so I'll have another 2 probably by the time we record our next episode, which I'm pretty excited about.
And sorry, I just wanted to touch up on, what you're saying about just crafting. Sorry, not crafting, questing being free. And for those of you who are listening to the podcast for the first time, and I mean, we were talking about, Magic hitting all-time highs, and it just smashed it again. I mean, we ended up hitting, right here it says 562. So we're just mooning at this point. And I just want to let everyone who's, listening to this for the first time to just not feel like there's no entry for you into treasure or just anything into this anymore. I mean, I know we always talk about this all the time, and we always try to let everyone know that there always will be more opportunities to join. And this is also one of the amazing things that I just wanted to point out about Treasure and just the Treasure team in general. They have just done such a good job on just making this game for everyone. In my opinion, they've made it for the people who, have been there from the beginning. For the, they made the game for the people who have been playing or believing in the project since the beginning. They've made the game for people who are just entering right in. For example, you can hire a recruit for just simply 10 magic. Or, if you want to include yourself even more, you can buy an auxiliary legion and you can summon with it. I mean, summoning is a little bit expensive, or you can, just like you were saying, you can quest, and questing is absolutely free. And there are some guys who are getting some relatively rare treasures from questing as well. And I mean, that's honestly, I think that's like your ticket right into, getting even bigger and bigger into the game itself. So I just want to let everyone know, don't think that, as bullish as everything is getting, that you still don't have an entry within the game or just the ecosystem itself. They have done multiple things, and there's many opportunities that are to come and that are still existing for people to join us as well. So I just want to let everyone know that it's not over. It's not. You can still join. Anyone can still join into this.
Alum, you're absolutely right, and I think that's where, like I said, what I like about it the most. Like, the summoning does cost, but there's a benefit to that, right? You summon, you spend either 300 for a Legion Genesis or 500 for an Auxiliary Legion to summon, but whatever auxiliary you get from that summon, the floor price is what, 1,400 magic right now?
Exactly.
So you're obviously getting return on your investment already.
100%.
And
100%.
And that auxiliary summon can also summon another Legion. So right there, you've got so much opportunity in that. But at the same time, the fact that the questing is free and you can get treasures for that you can sell on the market, it's so awesome. And I know we all talk about free, but there are transaction fees. We're all familiar with gas. The gas fee is like negligible, right? It's like
that's the beauty of L2
or something, right? Yeah,
that's the exact beauty of the Arbitrum network.
So something like one of the concepts that we're talking about right now is kind of just like immediate returns and immediate success from both questing and for those who have the startup capital to summon. One of the things that I've been thinking about more recently is, I think all of us are aware, but some of our listeners might not be, on aggregate, many people are not crafting as much as they are summoning or as they are questing. It's actually a pretty large disparity. I think something like 300 unique wallets are crafting, while I think maybe 11,000 are questing and summoning. So obviously a massive difference. One of the things that you said, Breaker, was you have an aversion to crafting because there's an opportunity cost, essentially, as opposed to like questing or something like that. Do you think this is just like one long marshmallow test, though, that eventually crafting will if you stuck to it in the long run, it would be far more beneficial or lucrative.
So right now, I'm not averse to crafting. I actually wanted to craft, but I don't have all the treasures yet. I think that part of it is that, and maybe this speaks to your point about only 300 people are crafting. I think there's two things going on there. First is we are crafting, but we don't have any reason to craft yet because harvesters aren't live, from what I understand. And then the other piece is, like I said, I don't have all the treasures necessary, and I imagine there are a lot of other users in my position who don't have all the treasures available to them to craft with, or they could buy them on the market, but who wants to buy things on the market right now? We want to create things so that we can sell on the market or use, right? And so I think that it's twofold. Again, just not having the required materials and not really having a use for any crafted materials yet. But the questing is good enough. One of my legions is already at 70 XP. It's going to be level 2 probably by the end of tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what does level 2 entail?
I think at level 2 you're allowed to summon your quest rewards will get better.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to bring up the guide right now. Excuse me, it's still easy questing, and you need to quest 20 times in order to achieve level 3, but once you get to level 3, you unlock medium quests. And at level 3, you start to get 20 quest points per quest as opposed to 10 right now.
Interesting.
So that's where we stand right now with Bridgeworld. I'm actually about to send my auxiliary common onto a summon. Let's get this done.
No, but it's an interesting concept. I agree. I think a lot of people are not willing to purchase treasures on the marketplace. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out and if that continues to be the trend.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Any other thoughts on Bridgeworld, guys, before we move on to the next segment of this cast?
I mean, one thing I just really wanted to point out, and I mean, I guess everyone was shocked about this, honestly, as far as the people I've heard, was the auxiliary legions and the price action with that. I mean, yesterday or day before yesterday, I guess you could say, was when the summoning period for most people ended, and a majority of the people were expecting there to be a dump. People were expecting auxiliaries to dip a little bit because a lot of people were summoning and their summoning period ended and a lot of people wanted to list, etc., etc. And honestly, I was also hoping for a dump as well because I was planning on buying an auxiliary that night as well. And it was so shocking because literally this morning I checked and auxiliary legions had less listings than Legion Genesis. And it's just so many ways, like so many bullish thoughts that just get into my mind when I just see this, like how many people want to play into Bridgeworld, the positive aspect of just this game in general, and how, I guess you could say, how long-term everyone's kind of thinking with this. Not only, I mean, okay, yeah, there's nothing wrong with taking profits, and I mean, it's part of the game as well, that's the reason why this mechanism was also built to, you could sell your auxiliary legions as well, but just that part of seeing the price of auxiliary legions last night being almost around 1,700, I believe, for a auxiliary legion that had not been summoned. So that's just honestly absolutely insane to me, and the fact that it's still holding its price as well. I mean, due to the fact that this is a inflationary mechanism part of Bridgeworld, and this is supposed to be fluctuating in prices extremely heavily due to just the demand and the supply of everything that exists for auxiliary legions, and the fact that we see it being so stagnant within that range, and that range being relatively high. I mean, the floor right now for just an auxiliary legion is 1,300 magic, which is touching literally 2 ETH, and that for being an inflationary item part of the Bridgeworld game, and just seeing how this is something that everyone is commonly using and it being at this high of a price point and being stagnant there, it honestly just blows my mind. It's absolutely crazy to me. And just everything that goes on, it's just, just more and more positive aspects are coming out within this game and ecosystem. I mean, just a couple of minutes ago, I don't know if you guys know him, but his name is Luke Martin. He is he's the host of We Are Gonna Make It podcast, which is relatively a very big podcast just based off cryptocurrency and touching a little bit more on NFTs and stuff like that as well. Luke Martin's a very, 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 very big guy in the crypto space. He has 308,000 followers on Twitter as well. And he just tweeted to Keyboard Monkey, and he just asked him, how do I get into Magic? So it's just showing how the dream, or the thoughts that we all had 2 months from now, 3 months, 2 months before, 3 months before, of what Magic could possibly be, where could this take us, where do we see this going a couple months down the road. And it's just so honestly shocking, and not even shocking because we expected this to happen, but it's just so honestly, it just makes me really happy personally just to see how this is all actually unrevealing, and the thoughts that we had 3 months ago are actually coming true now. And it just puts a smile on my face, honestly, just seeing how bullish and just how positively this entire ecosystem is just going towards, in such an amazing trend.
Alan, you're our hype man.
Definitely, man. I want to see anyone who loves this project more than me. But I mean, honestly, everyone in this project loves this project to its heart, and we all are extremely bullish on it. And that's why, I mean, I say this all the time, but I've never seen a community like Treasure before, and I'm just so happy to be part of this. It's just honestly it's just an amazing journey.
Save some euphoria for the rest of us.
I'll try my best. I'll try my best.
Real.
All right. So we certainly covered the activity in Bridgeworld, and again, really great job by the devs. It's really taking off. They keep adding to it. You could start to see different traits now. Just really exciting stuff. I don't even think we talked about the constellations. Really briefly, we could touch on that, but if you took one of your legions through the pilgrimage, you might have been a lucky person to get a constellation on your Legion Genesis. I think it was like 0.01% was the rarity percentage. I think all classes got constellations, but if you had a Numeraire or a Riverman or a common, a Legion common, I think it was 0.01%. And check your legions if you haven't, because you might have a constellation there, and that means it's a rarer one, which would be pretty cool. Supposedly those are related to resistances, part of Season 2 stuff. I don't know. We're still in Season 1, but still really exciting stuff. Moving on. Small pets, guys. Small pets were launched this week. Again, me, Maximum Cope, Joe, not happy without any smalls. But tell me, what small pets did you guys get? I think you got a small pet if you had a small brains, or if you had a small bodies. So share, how many pets did you get? What kind of pets did you get? And do you guys get any rares?
Yeah, I guess I'll take this. Well, first thing first, to even get the small brains or bodies airdrop, you had to have your small brains staked. And I believe, I'm not too sure if you needed land with, I'm pretty sure you needed land and your male and female staked, as far as I believe, to qualify for the small brains airdrop. And I think you needed your small bodies staked as well to get a small body pet. So I think that's honestly the criteria. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I honestly was surprised. I ended up getting 3 small pets as of right now because I hold 3 small brains. And I also got 2 small bodies because I held 2 as well. And mine look pretty cool, to be honest. I kind of like mine. One of mine is a little grumpy little pet, so he kind of puts a smile on my face sometimes, just looking how pissed off he gets. And the other 2 are also really, really cool. One of them has a coconut in his hand, and the other one, my small bodies, has boxing gloves. So he's always ready for a fight. But honestly, I like the art for them. I heard, some people saying that they didn't like them too much, but I mean, it's an airdrop. I'm not going to expect them to do like the craziest thing ever. And honestly, it's a nice little, cute little thing. And I like the way they look.
Yeah, I think they're hella cute, dude. I actually got a totally naked small pet. And if you're familiar with the small ecosystem, you know that nude smalls are somewhat rare. So I'm wondering whether mine is rare. It's actually pretty cute. I think small brains as a whole, right, they are the PFPs of treasure just because of how they look and how like everyone is in love with them. Yeah. So I think that this is it's a great airdrop. Yeah, you're right, it's free. They can't really complain. I'm not complaining. I think mine are hella cute.
Kyle, I'm fairly confident yours would go for a pretty decent price above floor for being completely naked.
I saw one of the small body ones with the luchador mask that kind of I was like, oh, I might want to buy this one just to have the luchador mask.
I'm gonna be honest. I think they're super cute too. I really like these. I only received 2 small brain pets because I have bought and sold small bodies, or swoles, but I do not have them staked currently. I have one who is by far my favorite. He has an octopus hat. He's so cute. He's listed for an obscene price that I'm confident no one will ever purchase, but at least I can say he's super cute while also say that he's on the marketplace to myself. But I definitely do not want to sell both of these. I think that they will be quite beneficial into farming magic in Q2 when that does come out.
And honestly, yeah, touching upon that, I personally think, I mean, right now I guess you could say, this is another airdrop, and I think right now these are floor priced at around 170 magic for brains, and for bodies around 150 as far as I believe. And this also goes in for, small cars as well. We haven't, I mean, as everyone knows, we haven't seen too much action going on with smolverse. Their suspense is building up, and I feel like something is coming very, very soon. I mean, as I said, treasure farming will be coming very, very soon, but we just don't know when. But as we get closer and closer into Q2, I honestly think, and this is also for the people who are trying to get into smolverse and want that jump into treasure ecosystem, I honestly think this is your best opportunity. As of right now, this is one of the cheapest things this is the cheapest thing for smolverse, and is one of the cheapest things for the treasure ecosystem as well, apart from treasures. And I think we could honestly see a pump. I mean, that's going with nothing, no information, and we don't know anything about what's going to be used for these. I mean, we do know for small cars we will see small racing and a mechanism of where you could, I don't know if it's a burning mechanism or if it's some sort of trade, but there will be a mechanism for small cars where you can cash in all your lower rarity small cars and hope to get a rare one, or it's like a small Lambo or something like that. It was some news posted a while back, but I honestly think just because we haven't really seen these in the limelight as much, that's why they are really listed at 150 170 magic for PFP. You can use brains and bodies as PFPs, and we have been seeing a lot of people use them as PFPs, and I guess you could say that kind of incentivizes it to be a little bit priced higher as well. So seeing that it's sitting at 170 magic, I definitely feel like it is on the lower side as of right now, and I honestly think these are due for a pump. Probably not just yet, but definitely going into Q2 and midst of Q2, we will see these getting their limelight as well. I mean, the best opportunity to get into anything in treasure is looking at the thing that's not getting the spotlight at the moment. For example, right now, or just recently, we've seen, for the past couple of months, the Bridgeworld spotlight. Bridgeworld was getting all the light, all the shine, all the hype, and everything was going crazy about Bridgeworld. We saw Legion's pump go crazy. I mean, just a few days ago, we saw it sitting around 17,000 magic, 18,000 magic. That's literally 75 grand American for one NFT. That's absolutely nuts. And we see small brains taking a little dump. We see small bodies taking a little bit of a dump as well, just because they're not really looked upon right now. And same thing, I guess you could say for pets and cars and stuff like that as well. That just because they're not being looked at right now, or the floor price is really not as what they should be, doesn't mean that they cannot be higher in the future. It's just because majority of people's attention is diverted to something else as in the moment. And I don't think that that's the best buying opportunity for anything on treasure. Just trying to get something that people are not really looking at as of right now.
Wow, that's amazing analysis, Alan, and I have to agree with you there. And I'm happy that you touched on price as well, because one of the things I wanted to bring up was just today there was a $30,000 in Magic, 30,000 Magic sale of a small pet, a one of one, but still, that's, for everybody who's listening at home, at the time Magic was around $5. That's about 150,000 US dollars just for one NFT on the Magic ecosystem. But most small pets are currently sitting around 200 Magic, at least at the floor. Before we move on, does anyone have any additional final thoughts on small pets or anything small related?
No, we're good.
Right on. All right. So last thing I wanted to bring up today, I touched on it at the beginning, was the Seed of Life white paper is going to be coming on Friday this week. So that'll be the February 18th, basically on the day that this podcast comes out. So if you're listening to this podcast, you might be reading the Seed of Life white paper later today or have read it already. We're pretty excited about it, because I think if it comes out on Friday, that'll be the topic of our next episode. We're going to do a deep dive just like we did with the Bridgeworld white paper. But guys, what do we think about Seed of Life? I know we haven't really spoken about it too much. What are we anticipating? There seems to be a lot of mystery around it. I believe the developer is a gentleman by the name, or could be a lady, by the name of Jumpman, goes by Jumpman, has been associated with a number of great projects. But that being said, what do we all think? What's our predictions?
Seed of Life in general is a very interesting project, because from what Jumpman said, he is trying to emulate real life of sorts, right? Like an NFT that grows with you. And I'm really excited because Jumpman is a man known for his big brain projects. He's basically the founder of Origins NFT, which is this like alpha pass to his Discord. It's sitting at around 4 Ethereum right now, and he has these like great analytic tools that he built. And like from his tweets and what he's done, you can really tell that he has a huge brain. He's super smart and he knows what he's doing. So my predictions for Seed of Life, well, from what we know so far, is going to be some sort of like RPG sort of game. Your character grows to become like this warrior or like different classes, and you have all these different paths that you can take, I believe. But for the real gameplay route, I really have no idea how it's going to play out. How I imagine it's going to play out is that it's like a storyline driven narrative game where your actions will perhaps like grow your NFT in some way. I'm really not sure how the coding will work, how the smart contracts will be built, but this is how I envision it to be, obviously. All in all, really excited for Seed of Life and what they're going to build, and all the teasers that have been shown is amazing. Like the art is so rustic, I guess. It's nostalgic of like old RPG games that we played when we were young, and I love it. Yeah.
Hey, I have to agree with you that it does remind me of old RPGs, and that was very interesting thoughts. I hadn't really thought about it that way. For me personally, I think that Seed of Life is going to be somewhat similar to like well, at first I kind of thought it was more going to be like Tamagotchi style, like where you have to like feed it and take care of it and attend to it every day. But I think I was reading recently, I don't know where I saw it, but they were likening it to like, or Jumpman wants to kind of get that original World of Warcraft experience in playing Seed of Life, which if that's the case, I remember when World of Warcraft launched. I don't know about you guys, but I couldn't stop playing it for like weeks.
I wanted to ask about that. I've heard that this is going to be like some type of like MMORPG, WoW like type game, and that is not just like the community hyping the project up. That is from the creator Jumpman himself or themselves. Is that true?
I only got that information tangentially probably through the one. So anything's possible, and I think we're all aware that there's a lot of quote unquote hype around this. We don't know too much, but again, white paper is coming on Friday. For those who aren't aware, our good buddy End, who we all know in the Discord, Not Real End on Twitter, product lead for Bridgeworld, I believe is now product lead for Seed of Life as well. That might be some alpha for some of you, but I'm pretty excited about it. We hope to have him on the podcast at some point in the future, or maybe she. I can't assume anything, but if End is in charge of Seed of Life, I'm bullish. I'm really bullish with the vision of Jumpman. I think we're in good hands.
Yeah, totally agreed. If End does half of what he did with Bridgeworld, I think that there's some great things in store for Seed of Life.
Right on. Alrighty, guys. Final bit before we go to the 3 questions. We're going to do a little floor price update with Kyle. Kyle, you want to give us the lowdown on what's going on in the treasure marketplace and your thoughts on where things go from here, especially with the recent pump?
Yeah, for sure. I've been looking forward to this. So, let me start with treasures, right? We have seen that treasures floors relatively stable, I would say. T2 treasures have gone down, I believe. Dion, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm sorry to do this to you, but yeah, castles T1 treasures. Well, actually, prices across the board look around the same to me. The most bullish treasures I'm on, if you listeners are familiar, is Green and Honeycomb, because I believe crafting is sorry to say this, but crafting is a gimmick, right? It's like a part of this game, but the real item that will have value is the treasure that can be used across ecosystems. Because crafting just means you can be used in Bridgeworld, but the whole bullish thesis of Magic is the fact that you are creating a Nintendo of games, right? And obviously, the treasure that can be used across as many games as possible is what I believe will be the most valuable in the long run. I'm talking like maybe a few months or a year, right? So that's treasures. Let's move on to Legion, auxiliary legions. So as we all mentioned just now, and Alan was so sad about, the auxiliary legions didn't see the dump after summoning. I think that this is actually a pretty bullish sign, right? Because you have people that you actually have a lot of people summoning, and I did think that this would cause a crash in the floor price, but looks like I was wrong. I'm not sure what could be the cause. Probably new players onboarding, getting priced out of normal legions, looking towards auxiliary legions, because they actually aren't that different from your Genesis legion, other than the fact that they can like infinitely summon, right? Moving on, Legion Genesis, we have their prices. Well, they are slowly going up. Actually, they were 18k yesterday. Now they're 15k. But again, I do think that Legion Genesis is a good long-term hold, and they are up only from here because they are like the OG legions. They can be used again. I'll repeat my thesis, which is the item that can be used across multiple ecosystems will be the most valuable, and I believe Legion Genesis will be able to like traverse between universes. From what I hear, like I heard that they have a part to play in the small world, etc. Yeah, so on top of that, they have the capability to infinitely summon. So I honestly think that if you have the money, it's worthwhile to pick up a Legion Genesis, like just one. Although the Ethereum price is like 30 ETH right now. Holy shit, that's insane. Seed of Life has seen like I remember it was 1.8k, now it's 2.8k, but I don't really know whether it's undervalued. I'll be waiting for the white paper to come out and making my conclusions then. I think, yep, we've gone through small brains and small bodies already, so yeah, that's pretty much about it.
Thanks for that update, Kyle. I appreciate you doing the legwork for us on that and little insight that you provided as well. We'll see what happens over the next coming days as we go through this pump. Pretty interesting, to say the least.
Could I butt in with a quick question for Kyle? Could you talk about your thoughts in general for like price elasticity for the NFTs in relation to Magic? It's another way to phrase it. As Magic pumps, how do you think that would affect the floor price for NFTs? They're going to be priced the same in Magic value and obviously a lot more in USD, or would we see some type of equilibrium and elasticity and price moving down?
That is a great question, and it's something that I've been wondering for a while, because if you're familiar with like Ethereum NFTs, right? When Ethereum runs, we normally see like a huge bear market as people scramble to sell their listings for lower and lower, because for some reason everyone prices it in USD and they think that they just try to undercut each other. And it's a very common phenomenon that we always see happening in on OpenSea basically. Well, in a logical market, I think when Magic goes up, NFTs should price lower if you assume that the NFTs are perfectly priced, right? But I'm afraid that this is extremely dependent on which NFTs you're talking about. So stuff like Legion's Genesis, right? They will still go up, like even as Magic increases. Either that or they'll stay relatively stagnant. I don't believe that from 15.2k we go down all the way back to 10k again. I don't think that will happen, right? Maybe we fluctuate a bit, but in general, even though Magic has almost 2x from like $3, I don't think that the Legion Genesis price will halve. But if you ask me something like maybe some certain treasures, right? I do think that they have a chance of halving, because people just like scramble to sell these treasures for like some people price it in USD, so they'll scramble to sell these like less rare treasures to make it back in USD, if you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, so honestly, I think it's really dependent on what you're looking at. For rarer things that have greater intrinsic value, like your green and honeycomb and your auxiliary legions, they might not go down. I don't believe that they will. But for items like less rare items, right, like your normal treasures, maybe even your small bodies, for example, I do think that they will go down. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I personally have no clue myself. It's very interesting to see how Magic price affects NFT floors. But good take.
I actually made a huge mistake previously, because I tried to swing trade Magic thinking that I could like time the Magic pump and when it will dump so that I can buy back in for lower, and I tried to like calculate how the NFTs will fluctuate, and I screwed up basically. I lost like 9k Magic on that, I believe, or a bit less than that, yeah. So I don't know, my advice would be like to not like try to time the market. Instead, like I just wait. Yeah, after what I've experienced, I've realized that you could, if you're good at it, you could make a lot of money from swing trading, but it's really risky, and I don't want to take that risk with a project like Magic, right? Because in the end, holding it for long term, you'll probably still be rich. you know.
Yeah, agreed on that.
Wow, guys, that was very very interesting. Thanks for sharing those thoughts and opinions on where we go from here in terms of price. A little over my head, but I'm sure some of you might enjoy it. Moving on to the final segment of our cast, we have the 3 questions. And if this is the first time you listen to the podcast, we're fielding 3 questions from our listener base. And if you have any questions for the Magic Hour team, please submit them via Twitter. You can find us in the Discord. We're happy to field any of your questions. Also, if you have feedback or just want to say, hey, join us in the Discord. We're basically in there every day because we're all degens at the end of the day. But we're there. We'll respond to you. Some of you have provided some great suggestions, so keep them coming. That being said, let's move on to these 3 question guides. And just so you remember, the last time, I'm just going to throw this question out here. I want you to give me like kind of a brief answer, your thoughts, and then we'll move on to the next one. All right. Let's start with first question. This one comes from Mom in the Discord. Shout out to Mom. She's one of the mods over there, and she keeps us all in line. Mom wants to know, why wasn't there a magic dump back in January or even recently?
Honestly, I thought that there would be a huge dump. Like, if you follow my Twitter, I did think that we would see a bearish unlock because more than half the supply was being released. These people saw themselves becoming like millionaires, right, from nothing. Like, I know so many people who staked and staked treasures. They didn't think anything out of it, and like what, 3 months later, it's worth like huge amounts of money, right? Because the yields on these initial like treasures were so insane, right? One green was earning you 1k magic a day. That's like at current prices, that's like 5k a day, like 5k USD. That's insane, right? So you have all these people that are suddenly newfound millionaires, and I did think that it's honestly logical to think that they would dump all their treasures. But I think that we didn't see the dump because of this qualitative factor called community, right? This is a factor that cannot be measured through your normal numbers. You can't factor in emotional, like diamond handling potential. And Magic is honestly the first community that I've seen to have such strong like diamond hands, right? Because in most other communities, people will be like, oh, you should hold this to the moon. But the people that fall for that are just the exit liquidity for the people that come first, right? It's a PvP market. But in this case, we actually like the whales of Magic led with their actions because everything's on chain. So everyone could see that these whales are locking their Magic for the next X months. They weren't dumping. And the crypto market is less fundamental based and more like psychology based. That's what I like to believe, right? We have all these like narrative driven trades, Sol Luna, AVAX, GameFi, Metaverse, Sangala. So all these like narrative driven trades kind of show like how the market works on psychology. So in this case, we have people seeing that after this unlock, no one was dumping, right? Everyone was waiting with bated breath, like, will the price go down? And they didn't see it go down. So it was a bullish unlock. So from then on, in fact, like right after the unlock, I remember staying up to 3 a.m. just to watch it. Right after the unlock, we saw Magic prices go up, which, like in a scenario, if you told any guy that, oh, half the supply will be unlocking tomorrow, these people are now newfound billionaires, any irrational person will be like, oh, it will definitely dump. But really, I think the community played a huge part in leading the way. The whales like showed that they believed in the project, they believed how far it could go, and they wanted to, and they led with their actions by locking. Yeah, that's honestly the main reason why I believe that we didn't see a Magic dump. I would love to hear your thoughts on it, guys.
That was quite a bit. I suggested a brief answer, but you gave. I think you left us all speechless, Kyle. Honestly, I just thought I have to agree with you on one point alone. I think that the community just is there, and there's no reason to fade Magic at this point. There was no reason to fade Magic a month ago. There was no reason to fade Magic 2 months ago. The community, the team, everything has been clicking on all cylinders. From the day we found out that we were going to be migrating to Arbitrum, I feel like it's just been a wild ride. So I don't see why anybody would want to get off it at this time, or even then.
Yeah, I would echo that. I mean, hindsight is 2020, but you could see that the unlock was front run pretty hard in the, I want to say like 4 or 5 days beforehand. And on top of that, the people who were unlocking were probably some of Magic's biggest proponents in the first place. These were the people who took the absolute longest possible option to stake in the mine, which was 3 months. So I think all in all, we're a little bit more likely to be people who are diamond handing than we all expected.
Right on. Alan, do you have any thoughts, or do you want to take on the next question?
Honestly, no. You guys are saying the most amazing things, and I'm just loving this. I'm just having a great time listening to it all. To be honest.
All right. So this next question comes from one of our Discord users. He goes by the name of Joey, and he wants to know, who is Jumpman? Who wants to take this one?
Yeah, I think we've covered him just now, but I'll repeat. He's just this all-round super smart guy, founder of the Origins NFT project and Alpha Pass group that has a current flow of 4 Ethereum. He makes all these great analytical tools for NFTs on OpenSea. If you go on his Twitter, he says that he's ex Amazon, ex Ernst and Young, I believe. Yeah.
And a CPA. Wow. So he carries some good credentials with him.
Yep. And like I've seen him like talk on Discord, and he really just seems like an all-round smart, great person. Yep.
One of the things I want to say is he is ex Amazon, and I don't know his exact role, but obviously I do believe he worked specifically on the marketplace, which is great because I think as of either yesterday or 2 days ago, he was announced as the lead for Trove. So working on essentially one of the world's largest, if not the world's largest marketplace, to being one of the lead influencers for Trove is nothing but a bullish sign.
Wait, he's the lead of Trove? That's insane. Yeah, I mean, as someone who creates like NFT analytics, I'm sure he has loads of great ideas for Trove. I'm bullish. Nice.
I mean, I don't know if you already mentioned this, Kyle, but he is a CPA, works at Amazon, created an amazing alpha group called Origins NFT, worth a lot. Honestly, it's known around the NFT space if you're part of it. Everyone wants to be a part of it. It's amazing. They share the craziest alpha, and they're just the craziest projects in there, and it's amazing. And he is very, very well known within the NFT space, just Jumpman in general. Everyone has a positive remark about him, and he has delivered. That's one thing I can say. He has delivered a lot in the past, and honestly, I have my trust in him, just like I have in John, and I definitely don't think that he would let anyone down in terms of Seed of Life or just Trove in general.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And listeners out there, if you check out Jumpman's Twitter feed, you can see some of his analytical charts from Origins. I mean, they are super detailed, provide a lot of information. This guy really knows what he's doing, so check it out. And now on to our final question for this cast. This comes from one of my pals through Telegram. His name's Mook Nasty. And he has just recently got into Magic, and Bridgeworld, and he's doing the recruit thing because he didn't own any NFTs. And I was like, hey, if you want to get into Magic, here's an opportunity. It's only 10 Magic to get in. He's like, oh, I can afford this. And so he wanted to know, why isn't there any ability to kind of use a recruit to leg up into Legions or crafting? Because from what I understand, or what he told me, because I haven't done any recruits, is you can only have one recruit. You can't have more than one per wallet. And all they can do is quest right now. And, we all know the rewards for questing are very limited. So, guys, what are your thoughts about the difficulty in recruits being able to kind of extend their gameplay into Legions?
I actually wholeheartedly agree with your friend on this one. When I read the white paper about what these recruits could do, right, I found it quite lackluster. But at the same time, I don't really know of a better solution other than to just buy an auxiliary legion yourself, because it's a hard balancing act. If they made the questing possible such that you create treasures, right? You probably just get a bunch of bots that would like flood the marketplace with their recruits and infinite questing, and it will probably create a whole mess of things, right? Honestly, I don't have a perfect solution. I would say that as things stand, if you want to enter the space with some meaningful like gameplay, you kind of have to get an auxiliary legion, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And
Alternatively, right, the whole like ethos of Treasure is that they're building this decentralized network of games. So you don't necessarily have to get into Bridgeworld, you know. You don't necessarily have to have exposure. I would say the next game you could look forward to is maybe BattleFly. Try to get whitelists for these like upcoming games instead of buying into something so expensive, right? If you don't have the capital to do that. That's what I would suggest. Get whitelist for BattleFly, get whitelist for, I don't know, like Toadstools and anything, all the other games that are coming on. Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely true. And I think, going back to what I was going to say, I agree with you. I think that there's no real good solution where it doesn't affect the value of the existing assets. Although what I will say is, I think that if you could get some rewards that can help you accumulate some magic, maybe it's something like accumulate X amount of magic and then LP that, and then with some LP crystals and your recruit, maybe you can have a chance to summon a legion or something like that. That being said, I did put this question into the Discord directed at End, and some of the other members had told me that recruits are being reworked a bit. They are aware of the challenge and they want to make it more favorable for the users. So we'll see how that plays out over the next couple weeks or months.
Interesting. Breaker, you need to be questing your recruit. That was one of my biggest takeaways from that story. You're not.
I don't have a recruit. No, my friend is. My friend is doing his recruit. Wait, I should have a recruit?
Yeah, you should have a recruit. Well, I mean, basically, it's for someone who has enough money within the ecosystem on the Arbitrum network, like I assume yourself. I don't see a downside, especially with the amount of Essence of Starlights and Prisms that we all assume, it's been all but confirmed, we will need in the near future. I think that the reward isn't necessarily there yet, but in the near future it will be, and you'll be glad that you did.
Wow, you guys keep turning me on to these things that I just am like sleeping on. So thank you for that, Dion. I appreciate that. Guys, this was another great conversation. I hope you all enjoyed it. Any final thoughts before we sign off?
Honestly, just think everything that's going on right now and, treasure ecosystem, just Bridgeworld, smolverse, everything that's about to come. And honestly, just the price action from Magic just speaks for itself. As much as I might, be bullish and just hype about Magic all the time, I think, everything just, again, the price talks, the community talks, and, the volume and just the pricing of just everything on Treasure talks for itself.
For sure. Well, guys, thanks again. And for all you listeners out there, thank you for the likes, the follows, the feedback. You can find us on Spotify, on YouTube. Hit those notification bells. Like I said, we drop our episodes every Friday. Keep an eye on our Twitter feed. We're looking forward to engaging with you more in the community. So again, if you have any questions, comments, come visit us in the Discord. We're always there, and look forward to more exciting episodes in the future. I think we're going to be offering some potential whitelist raffles, as well as we're looking to have some more guests on the show. It's only episode 5, and we've got plenty more in the tank. So just keep an eye out. What were you going to say, Kyle? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna say, We are actually holding a giveaway for BattleFly whitelists, so go check out.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we'll be giving away, I believe, 3 BattleFly whitelists.
How many is that? 3?
Yeah, 3. So you can.
Ooh.
The giveaway is on my Twitter, 0x_friend. Yeah, enter the giveaway and follow me and Magic Hour podcast to participate.
All right, so just to recap that, if and this will be on Friday, right, Kyle? We're not going to do it today. We'll launch it on Friday. Give Kyle a follow as well as the podcast. All the instructions be on Twitter, I'm sure. But good luck to all you out there. By the way, Dion, you can't win.
That's I don't have it. I don't know how
you'll figure out a way, I'm sure.
Oh, I better.